Hi guys, back again with another video. Now this video is going to be a real life review of the OnePlus TV. Now this is the 43Y1 edition. This is the budget edition one. It's a 43-inch TV. Now let's go ahead, do the real life review of this. Let's get to know the TV first. Let's see what all do we actually get with this. So when you actually purchase the TV, you get the TV, the stand, remote and the batteries with it. So the remote is a basic remote. It's got all the functions. It's got the volume key, so you have the volume up down function. You have the power off function, which you do not have on sticks or those boxes, because they don't control the TV. But with the Fire TV stick, the new edition, you get the power option which controls the TV also. If you have any doubts about that, you can ask me. I will let you know in the comments. So this one is a complete remote, so it's got everything. You got Netflix, you've got YouTube, you got Prime Videos button over here, so you do not have to browse and search for the app. You can just press it here and it will open up. The menu is not that useful. It only opens up some menus in some apps like YouTube or so. Otherwise it's of no use. You have this button which actually takes you to home, and then you can open up any app. So it's a fairly basic remote. It's got a Google Assistant built into it, so you can use the mic to activate Google Assistant and then use it that way. This is a twin remote. It's got infrared and Bluetooth built into it. So by default infrared is always on. So in case you buy the new TV, you will see that this works with infrared. But if you want the Bluetooth to be activated, you have to set it up. So you have to pair the remote via Bluetooth onto the TV. So I've made a video for that. I'll put the link below, or I'll actually put a card on top, so you can click on that and you can see how to pair it. So it's fairly simple, basic TV. Doesn't have any extra features, but it has some good things and some not so good things. So let's start with the good things first. Let's start with the configuration itself. So the specs on this is a 43-inch TV, but it's got 1920 by 1080p resolution. It's a A53 quad core processor, 1 GB of RAM, 8 GB ROM, out of which around 5.5 GB would be available after installing all these Netflix, YouTube and Hotstar and Amazon Prime and all these things. You will still have around 5.5 GB empty. So this works on 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. It does not support 5 gigahertz. So that's something that you have to remember. In case you are using 5 gigahertz internet at the house, you will have to activate the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi also. It has two 20-watt speaker, one over here, one over here. They are bottom firing one. Now they are basic speakers, so you cannot expect a lot of bass from it, a lot of clarity. It's just good. It's a little trebly for my taste. The vocals are there, but the treble is a little overpowering. Bass is almost not there because it's a thin TV. They don't really have enough space to create a bass chamber and stuff. So I won't really complain. It's the previous one had a sound bar. This one does not have that. That's why the sound will not be that great. Let's talk about the inputs. So you have two USB inputs. You can connect hard drives to it. One thing is a disappointment, that is you cannot use a sound card. I have a problem with this. The aux, there is no aux connection, there is no sound output. So I tried using a sound card which I actually have tried on the MI TV box and all other devices, Android devices, and a sound card works on them. But this one does not support it. It detects it. I see that the sound card is on, the volume control works, everything works, but the sound is not routed from the TV to the sound card. It will only route it to the TV itself, TV speaker itself. So that's something you have to remember. So two USB inputs, which are just for hard drives and stuff. It does not support a lot of other devices. Two HDMI ports. So since this is already a TV, I mean it's a smart TV, so you won't need external device like a Fire TV stick or a MI TV stick or any of those devices. The maximum that you will put may be a Tata Sky or something. So it's got two connections, so that's good enough. Now it has a RF antenna connection also, which is strange nowadays. I mean, it's a TV, so I know it's a basic requirement in TVs, so that's why it's there. But nowadays it's of no use. So you can connect your antennas in case you feel like you want to see Doordarshan or DD1, DD2 on that. All of that you can see it. Then you have an Ethernet port. That's a good addition. Now output. The only output this one has is the digital audio optical cable connection. So optical cable connection is you will see a red light coming out of it. So it's an optical connection. So you have a glass wire which goes all the fiber optic high speed internet uses that kind of technology. So that technology is built into it. So that's a good thing. Just that if you're buying a budget TV, you will not find people buying expensive optical audio devices to connect to a cheap TV. So they will rather put it for maybe a bigger, better quality TV where the display is much better. So anyways, I don't know, maybe some people want it, so they've kept that option. So that's all. That's the output. They don't have any other output. So that's one thing which I did not like. If I want to connect the speakers, so I'm not able to connect these speakers to this TV because this has got an aux connection. This TV does not have an aux connection. It does not even have those audio video connection where you can just AV connection, which you can just put it there, because all I need is a wire. I can just connect it that way. That also is not available. So that's something disappointing. That's one thing which I did not like about this TV. Now there is a workaround. You can actually get a Bluetooth adapter receiver and then connect it through that, but then it's a long process. If not, get a Bluetooth soundbar or a sound system, then that will work. So you'll have to rely on Bluetooth or optical is not an option for me. Now what's good, what I like is the small bezel. Now you see the bezels are really small, and you can connect hard drives on it, and I've tried playing videos and stuff, so no issues, no lags, no nothing. On Bluetooth also the sound is clear, no lag. So I've used earphones with this and no issues with that, so that's very good. What I don't like is this does not come with a wall mounting bracket. So I have tested a lot of other TVs. They don't, I mean, with that they actually give you a small bracket to put it on the wall. This one does not have that. The speakers, as I told you, are basic speakers, can't really expect much from them. The USB sound card feature does not work, so you cannot use a USB external device. So I won't even have be able to install a printer or thing. So all that is not there, and no aux connection. So these are the bad things which I did not like. Extra option, you have Oxygen Play Connect. So that's actually similar to the Android remote, if you've used that. So that actually allows your phone to become a remote, and then you can control it with that. But there's a limitation to that. Now it has to be on the same Wi-Fi network. So in my house I have 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz. So most of my devices are connected, all my phones at least are connected on the 5 gigahertz one, high speed one, and some older devices are connected to the 2.4 one. Now since this is on 2.4, I cannot control it with my phone. I have to bring my phone down to the 2.4 Wi-Fi and then use it. So that's a hassle. I have to keep changing it every time. So that's something which I don't like. So that in turn I ended up not using the remote at all. So even though the Oxygen Play remote is good, they are a little better than the Android remote, because it's got the app options and all over there and little more features that is there. So I kind of liked it, but didn't end up using it much. Now they have Oxygen Play, which is similar to Patchwall on the other TVs. So it's basically one place where it finds all good stuff from different places and then shows you that. But you need to have the subscription to them. So you can't really see everything free. It'll show you something from Z, or it'll show you something from Netflix. Doesn't mean that it'll play it. It'll ask you to subscribe and then do it that way. So it's just a place where it finds all the good things and puts it together. For some people it will be good in case you have all the subscription, but otherwise you will end up subscribing to things, and then I didn't use Oxygen Play that much, so it was not my favorite thing. I use the regular home screen, but for some people it will be good. So those are the extra options. So now let's talk about who is this for, what to expect from this. Now, what to expect from this? This is actually a decent TV, value for money, but speaker wise and output wise, I'm disappointed with it. If I was given a choice, I would put a little more money and get something with a better speaker, so I don't have to spend on something extra to fit with this, because I would like one thing with everything in there. Now with this, if you do not want that option, like if you are going to buy a separate speaker anyways, then it's fine, then this makes sense. Otherwise, personally I would rather buy a TV which has better sound and a better display. So this is good but not that great. So that's all that I wanted to talk about this. I am not doing a comparison with other TVs. I will show you other TVs first and then do a comparison later on. So that's it for this video. If you like the video, please subscribe with the like button and do comment, and I'll see you again with another video. Bye bye.